Today we want to talk about 20 new upcoming exploration games that just really have us excited. Exploration games is a very broad term, but we're just considering some cool games here that have some exploration elements, at least that we know of. We just wanted an excuse to chat about some interesting new games coming. So here are 20 games in no particular order, starting off with number 20. The Blood of Dawnwalker is a really interesting one because it's a new studio, partially with some people who worked on The Witcher 3. So while at first glance this game does look very Witcher 3-like, it has a kind of unique conceit to it. You play as a character who's able to walk around and explore the world during the day, speaking to people, doing quests, engaging with the populace, and then at night, it switches to a more vampire-style gameplay where you creep around on rooftops at moonlight and defeat enemies with your vampire abilities rather than just your sword. That's a unique structure in and of itself, but the game also is based around your character having a limited time. There are things at stake specifically, and the game wants to move that forward. So I'm really curious to see how this goes in terms of a grand questing experiment, but also just as a vampire game, it looks cool as hell. As of right now, The Blood of Dawnwalker is slated for some time in 2026. Next over at number 19, Chronicles Medieval. This just looks like a big, ambitious medieval style game with gorgeous graphics and seemingly a big old world. It's from a first-time developer publisher, Raw Power Games, and honestly, we don't know too much about them. So this could be too good to be true, but the flashy trailer implies a lot, along with the Steam page that promises a vast, dynamic, open-world medieval sandbox where you create your own character and you essentially go from rags to riches, zero to hero, bum to massive warrior, commanding armies in the whole 9 yards. Large-scale battles, creating your own character, engaging in this world, and then also large-scale battles. It sounds really ambitious, especially with the visual style they're implying here. Again, we're cautiously looking at this one, but it could look really cool exploring a big old medieval world, especially one with a sandbox style focus. As of right now, it's coming to early access at some point in 2026. Next over at number 18, we have The Legend of California, something we haven't seen in a while. An open world Western game. This is an open world action survival shooter that is set in early days California during the gold rush. It's a first person shooter with survival elements and you can play alone or with friends, and so far this just looks cool as hell. On one hand, it does look like very much your standard survival game stuff, looking for loot, chopping down trees, managing resources, but you can't help but be charmed by the Western elements. You know, cool guns, duels, shanty towns, saloons, that type of stuff. Along with that, the developer pedigree here. So this is a new studio, but it's being led by Jeff Kaplan, former VP of Blizzard, and notably known as the Overwatch guy. This is him going off to do his own thing, and we're hoping it looks cool. I would love to explore a Wild West California. As of right now, it seems like it's coming to 2026 in early access. Next over at number 17, Grand Theft Auto 6, okay? Look, it's obvious. This is going to be a big game. It's presumably going to have a big world, just a giant open world state of Florida, a fictional version of that, of course, with a whole Vice City. So there's going to be a lot going on with this one. It's a Grand Theft Auto game. I'm sure you know what to expect at some point, but I'm sure Rockstar also has a lot of surprises up their sleeve. We're really hoping this one lives up to the hype. God knows, it's been worked on forever. It's been anticipated forever. It's been delayed quite a few times, but this is a crime-ridden open world that we're really looking forward to spending some time in when it hopefully finally releases November 19th, 2026. Next over at number 16, we have The Witcher 4. This is kind of marking a whole new angle, a whole new direction for CD Projekt Red with The Witcher, because they're leaving Geralt behind and focusing on a grown Ciri, who herself is a Witcher now, and visually, the game looks insane. It's CD Projekt Red's first game in Unreal Engine 5, and it looks Unreal Engine 5 as hell. And I mean, in a positive way. All the effects, all the lighting, all the geometry, all the photogrammetry, all that stuff here. It looks like it's going to be a pretty impressive game, as long as it runs all right. But from what we know, you are going to be playing as Ciri in a new region, doing Witcher stuff. Honestly, it's great that they took the lid off this one and showed us a little bit, but really, after that, when you really drill into it, we don't know too much about this one. It's still shrouded in quite a lot of mystery, but if it's anything like The Witcher 3, there's going to be a lot of exploring. And with this whole new region, it does look pretty intriguing. As of right now, it's maybe coming 2027 or beyond, who knows. We just want to see CD Projekt Red take their time on this one, not rush it, and just release a cool-ass game. And speaking of cool-ass games, we talk about new games all the time, so if you want to be informed, we do put out videos every single day, but sometimes YouTube doesn't tell you, so click that notification bell and set it so you're always notified of new videos. Thanks if you do that, but anyway, let's move on to number 15. Divinity is the newest game from Larian Studios, coming off hot off the heels of Baldur's Gate 3, one of the most incredible, big, in-depth, ambitious RPGs of all time. Divinity is them, once again, probably doing some RPG stuff, but this time not set in the universe of Dungeons & Dragons, but their own thing. Of course, they've made Divinity games in the past. The Divinity Original Sin games are great RPGs in their own right, but we don't know too much about this one. All we got is a really gross, gory cinematic trailer to go on. This one's probably a ways off, but it's cool to know what they're working on next at the very least. They did a great job with Baldur's Gate 3. Again, as of right now, Divinity doesn't have a release date, but we will happily wait as long as it takes. Next up at number 14, we have No Law. Check this out. This is a first-person cyberpunk RPG. It looks steeped in atmosphere. It's a rich, detailed world, at least from what we've seen so far in the trailers and the screenshots. And this is a world that I think is begging to be explored. It does look like it's a little more linear and more narrative-focused, with you playing as this gruff, grim cyberpunk noir guy. But even if it's not this giant, like, massive open-world cyberpunk 2077 style game, this type of atmosphere, this type of style, this tone, it just really begs for every nook and cranny and corner to really be thoroughly explored. No Law made its debut with this trailer last year. It blew us away. I really hope the game actually lives up to this concept. We'll know for sure when it's hopefully getting a release date announced sometime in 2026. Next at number 13, Kena, Scars of Kosmora. This is the follow-up to Kena, Bridge of Spirits, which was for PS5 and PC. That game was awesome. Honestly, kind of underrated. A really, really cool game with a rich, kind of Pixar, DreamWorks style art style, some surprisingly challenging and engaging combat, and just a cool, beautiful world. Kena Scars of Kosmora looks like it's just opening things up. More enemy types, a lot more combat capabilities, riding on a horse and exploring larger areas. That's what I want. I loved exploring in the first game and how the game encouraged me to do so, and I'm hoping that this game really steps it up because it definitely looks like it's increasing in size. Either way, I just hope they can keep up the level of quality from the previous game and really just take the ball and run with it. They set up some good foundations, and I hope the sequel blows it all out of the water. It's apparently releasing sometime in 2026. Next at number 12, we have the Duskbloods. This is one we don't know too much about, but it is a From Software game being developed exclusively for Switch 2. It looks like it's going to have some multiplayer elements, and it's definitely got a bit more of a Bloodborne style. It doesn't look like it's like a Bloodborne sequel, but it's definitely Bloodborne adjacent, and I know a lot of people are absolutely desperate for that. But if this does follow the FromSoft formula, it is going to have a hell of a world to explore. You're going to be doing it with other people, but I presume it's going to be incredibly challenging with brutal bosses. You know what they do at this point. I'm excited to see what they do differently with this one and why exactly they decided to make a Switch 2 exclusive. What's so special about it? Why did Nintendo sign off on it specifically? But it looks cool as hell, and I'm hoping we hear more about it this year. Next at number 11, we have Fable. This is Xbox's attempt at reviving the beloved RPG franchise that I personally loved very much. Fable, this new one, this reboot, whatever you want to call it, is being developed by Playground Games, the people who make the Forza Horizon games. So they know open worlds, but this is a whole different beast. And so far, what we've seen of the gameplay and the combat and stuff, it looks pretty cool. The world is filled with entirely unique NPCs that you can fall in love with, mess with, screw over, and I love that. Interacting with NPCs in the old Fable game was a lot of the charm, and I'm glad they're kind of taking that element to the next level here. It does seem like in this one you can't make your hero into like a giant devil or an epic mage. It looks a bit more grounded, but still, I hope they can nail the feel, the tone, the comedy, the sense of adventure, and of course, the exploration. The world does look big here. We did see some horseback traversal, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. As of right now, we know Fable is releasing in fall of 2026. Now down at number 10, we have the follow-up to Ark Survival Evolved with Ark 2. They've been working on this one for a long time. It seems like the original Ark made a ton of money during the survival game boom, and I'm excited to see how they can push things to the next level. Ark, by nature, is about exploration. You explore to survive, essentially, and the game just gets weirder and weirder. I hope Ark 2 carries that same energy. And I honestly hope we just hear something more about it soon. It still feels like we're not going to see this one for a while, but we're definitely looking forward to it. Next at number 9, we have Exodus. This is absolutely still under the radar for a lot of people, but this is being made by a new studio founded up by one of the OG BioWare heads and one of the people behind Mass Effect, and this looks like a spiritual successor to Mass Effect, and I am all about that. Third-person sci-fi combat, compelling characters, a story focus. They're just starting to reveal more information about it now. We've gotten some looks at some gameplay, and it just looks fun and intriguing. As of right now, it seems like it's slated for early 2027. Next at number 8, Bloodstained, the Scarlet Engagement. I'm really excited to see this series continue as a spiritual successor of Castlevania from one of the OGs behind Castlevania. Bloodstained is continuing, and this just looks sweet, from the combat to the bosses to the characters to the art style and direction here. I'm really hoping this is another Bloodstained banger. It's come a long way since the OG game's Kickstarter days, and with it being a Metroidvania style game, therein lies a ton of exploration. So it's a no-brainer to put it on this list. As of right now, it's slated for 2026. Next at number 7, we have Chrono Odyssey. This is one of those games, kind of like Crimson Desert or something like that, where you see trailers and screenshots and you go, is this real? Is this seriously a game? Because, I mean, look at this. It looks absolutely massive with gorgeous graphics. This is technically a, quote, next-generation action MMORPG in Unreal Engine 5. It looks crazy. It looks detailed. You've got all different types of characters, all different types of weapon sets, biomes, knights, dragons, and if the world is as big and as gorgeous as it looks, we're definitely going to want to spend some time here. That being said, we don't really know a lot about the developer or publisher. This seems like a first-time thing, and it looks massive. Is it too good to be true? Is it going to be one of those? I don't know for sure, but we're at the very least going to do our jobs and keep an eye on it. Next at number 6, we have Clockwork Revolution. This is a new first-person RPG adventure from Xbox Game Studios and In Exile Entertainment, the people behind things like Wasteland 3, so they absolutely understand RPGs. But what got me with this game is the world. I mean, look at it. This cool, like, weird alternate 1895 steampunk world just looks filled with detail and quirks. Beautiful streets, architecture, griminess, insane characters. I don't want to hype it up too much because we don't know if it's actually going to be good, but when I look at this game, it kind of reminds me of like a Half-Life 2 City 17 or a Dishonored Dunwall. Just a place that I really want to spend some time in. Maybe even some BioShock inspiration. I don't know. At least the developers behind this are incredibly competent and suited for this type of thing. I just hope they nail it. They've been working on this one for a while, and as of right now, still no release date, but since it was initially revealed, it's popped up here and there, and I'm really hoping we get more solid info soon. Now at number 5, Lords of the Fallen 2. They're really stepping it up with this one. Lords of the Fallen, if you remember, actually was a game that was kind of a Souls-like thing called Lords of the Fallen, and then they rebooted it, and they came out with another one called Lords of the Fallen. It was way cooler, heavy metal, grim dark, good combat, and it was a solid foundation for a sequel. That's what they're doing here with Lords of the Fallen 2. A bigger world, more exploration, more combat customization opportunities, and of course some like alternate world, alternate dimension, realm shifting stuff with an increased difficulty. If it's anything like the first game, it's not for the faint of heart, but we're just excited to see them go bigger and bolder with the sequel. This is apparently coming sometime in 2026. Next at number 4, we have Blackfrost, The Long Dark 2. If it's anything like the original Long Dark, just an incredible survival game with great exploration. You're exploring to survive. You're looking for anything to help you get through the harsh winter. And in The Long Dark 2, it looks like the winter's getting even harsher. You're managing the cold, you're managing your hunger, you're managing your mental health, but also it seems like there's a bit more of a story going on here, and it looks like they're trying to get a little creative with it. Like I said, the first game is an incredibly good survival game. I'd say it's a cut above a lot of them in terms of quality, presentation, and just the amount of modes and offering it eventually got. So I'm really hoping that The Long Dark 2 can live up to that original game's legacy. As of right now, no release date, but we'll keep you guys posted. Now down at number 3, Subnautica 2. This is a great one because it's been in the works for a long time, and it's following up a killer survival game that was so much more than a survival game. It was really about exploring the depths of the ocean, building, conquering those underwater elements. And Subnautica 2, from the little bit we've seen, looks awesome. It looks like a good continuation. People have been really hungry for this one just because the first game was that good. This game apparently went through a lot of legal issues and weird stuff behind the scenes, but now it's finally releasing in early access in May. And I'm really excited to see how they evolve the original game. Now down at number 2, The Elder Scrolls 6. Look, we had to mention it because an Elder Scrolls game is all about exploration. I figured that was obvious, right? But Elder Scrolls 6 seems like it's a ways off. It was announced many years ago. Bethesda has worked on other projects like Fallout 76 and of course Starfield, which they're still adding DLC and stuff to. So it seems like Elder Scrolls 6 is not coming anytime soon, with Bethesda Game Studios head Todd Howard even saying recently that they kind of regretted announcing it so early. They announced it just to get people off their backs, but even when they announced it, it seems like they weren't necessarily like full speed ahead on development, so it's probably going to be 2028 and beyond. But damn if I'm not excited and hopeful. Look, I know Bethesda's taken some hits in recent years and some people are tired of their BS, but I'm hoping for a big Elder Scrolls victory. Of course, that remains to be seen though. Now down at number 1, Light No Fire. This is interesting because it's from the people behind No Man's Sky, Hello Games. Now, No Man's Sky, of course, had that really rough launch, but since then, they took all the money, they didn't run with it, they continued to beef it up and make it an incredibly in-depth space exploration game with tons of systems, loads of customization, and a good amount of mystery, and just old-fashioned fun factor. So this new one, Light No Fire, looks to be completely different. It's multiplayer based, it's a little bit more fantasy, fantastical, if you will, and they're trying to simulate exploring an entire world, a whole planet that is incredibly ambitious, just like No Man's Sky was, and that concerned us back in the day, but we're hoping this time around they're really up for the challenge because it seems like they learned a lot with No Man's Sky. That game now, as it stands, is absolutely incredible. So hopefully with Light No Fire they nail it. It's a good one on this list because it looks like it's all about exploration. Just from the little glimpses of gameplay we've seen, they've been pretty quiet on this one since it was announced. We don't know when it's coming, maybe 2027 if I were to take a guess, but who knows. Those are 20 games, but we got a couple of bonuses for you. First and foremost, State of Decay 3, which is hopefully filled with fun zombie apocalypse exploration. Also, Stranger Than Heaven, a new one from some of the Yakuza people. This just looks like it's going to have a really cool world that I want to run around and punch guys in. Also, Knight's Path, another game that's going for a bit more of a realistic medieval style game and experience. That seems pretty early, but hey, maybe it'll be cool. Also, Forza Horizon 6. Releasing pretty soon, this one is set in Japan, and I know you're stuck in a car, but you can drive all around Japan and explore everything it has to offer. Japan is absolutely tailor-made for a racing game. So let us know in the comments some games that feature exploration that you're curious about, something you're looking forward to. Again, it's a pretty broad genre. Any game can kind of encourage some sort of exploration, so let us know what you're thinking about. If you like talking games with us every single day, clicking the like button's all you really can do to help. That's all we need. We really appreciate it, but thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.